Good morning. My name is Bernadette Lewis, and I am the Secretary General of the Commonwealth Telecommunications Organization. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizers of the Connected Caribbean Summit for this opportunity to share some thoughts on the trends that are transforming public policy making. You would agree that over the last 50 years, the world has changed at a fundamental level. We have been witnessing the unrelenting and rapid pace of technological innovation, which has ushered us into the age of the fourth industrial revolution. It has dismantled the traditional frameworks that governed how we relate to others, how we communicate, how we work, how we are entertained. In addition, the world is emerging from the COVID-19 pandemic, and we are being assailed by the effects of climate change. The winds of geopolitical and economic change are sweeping the globe. We are seeing non-traditional players operating outside of our national borders, influencing and impacting our national systems. We are also witnessing the rise of individuals who are becoming more powerful than sovereign states. In addition, justice is turned away backward, truth is lying in the street, and people are being deluded, because this is also called the post-truth era. And I want to make 3 points about national governments, because they are the agents for public policy making. And the first thing I'd like to say is that I believe there's a need for a new social contract that puts the citizen at the center of government's activities and services. We should be aiming for citizen serving, not self-serving government. The second point I need to make is that we have to move to whole of government approaches. Governments, ministries, their departments and agencies have traditionally operated in silos with the citizens' information locked in those silos. So it's important for us to move towards seamless governments, whole of government's approaches. And the last point I'd like to make concerns government policies. Those ideas or plans that are used as a basis for decision making in government, these policies have to be evidence-based. And having made those 3 general comments about government, I'd like to consider that the changes that I referred to earlier are irrevocable. And what is certain is that the rate of change will continue. And if governments are going to serve their citizens, such phenomenal changes in our environment demand an appropriate public policy response. So now I'm going to speak specifically to the trends that are transforming public policy making. And the first one is the use of technology in government. And the technology can enable the delivery of public services that are customized and that are effective and that are efficient and transparent. Digital capabilities must be foundational in the delivery of modern public services. They are essential for resilience, for driving progress and competitive advantage. And this really came to the fore as an imperative during the pandemic. So some of the technologies are being used, like for example, artificial intelligence in the design and the delivery of policies and services. I've seen artificial intelligence being used in the recruitment process to eliminate unsuitable candidates. Artificial intelligence can be used to generate productivity gains and improve efficiency and lower cost and find solutions to very complex problems. Blockchain, or distributed ledger technology, is being used in governments for tracking the evolution of a document from its creation, who amended, who changed, who deleted, who did whatever, to the final product. And blockchain enables you to check the integrity of the process. The Internet of Things. This can be embedded in the sensors and actuators embedded in public spaces, and can be used very effectively to collect data. Yes, facial recognition, I've experienced it in airports, being used for public safety. Virtual reality, the metaverse, these technologies can support new ways of working, of bringing diverse stakeholders together, of engaging citizens in a very close relationship. These technologies are available, and they should be used by governments. I want to move on to the whole issue of information, the use of information. And I think, to start with, the citizens, every citizen must be connected to the information networks, whether they're local or international. And there are new technologies which can reach your citizen wherever they are. We have low and medium Earth orbiting satellites, high altitude platforms that are promising to provide universal, affordable broadband access. So, and of course, the government can certainly use these technologies to link their dispersed ministries and agencies and departments. But regarding the use of information, you must have your information policy that will enable us to manage, protect that information, assure its integrity. And what we are finding is more and more, it's becoming more and more evident that there are organizations and nations that they are systematically collecting information on our countries and our citizens, undermining the very notions of sovereignty and privacy. Yes, and these are things that we have to address in our public policy. Information, when you collect it, you have the opportunity to use big data analytics, yes, to assess that information, to get the evidence that you would need to support policy making. And I'm encouraging all governments to open up their data, make it available to the citizens, so that there are talented people out there who could make use of that data to solve the challenges that our countries face. I think in our policy making, we have to support innovation, right? Because you will not see the full potential of technology if there isn't a certain amount of innovation. You have to be prepared to depart from those beaten tracks of tradition and, take advantage of that unfolding vista of possibilities. And I also like to say, in supporting innovation, make use of indigenous talent. Your locals best understand the environment, the culture, how you could motivate people. And we in the Caribbean, unfortunately, we have this tremendous challenge of flight of intellectual capacity. And this is something that we have to look at. Collaboration and cooperation are very important. We're in a highly globalized environment, and we have to be able to use and leverage our resources that we have available to us to create the value that we need. And this takes critical thinking, research and development, making plans and implementing. And the last comment, I would like to talk about global problems. Global problems will require global solutions, and some problems cannot be solved by one country. So governments will be called upon to work more closely, to work in partnerships with private sector and other diverse stakeholders, because the government cannot do it alone. And having made those few comments, I am encouraging the governments of the region to advance the establishment of that Caribbean single market and economy and the Caribbean single ICT space to support it. I think this is important going forward. If all the Caribbean countries could subscribe to a high-level vision, and that you see the implementation at the national level. I hope these few thoughts will be helpful to your deliberations, and I thank you for your attention.